Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k. We're on our countdown to Christmas and today is the 4th of December. Voice update, it's getting better. Still not quite there. Fingers crossed for tomorrow. We're getting there. But today we've got a video where we're going to be doing Who Outshoots Who. So we've done something quite similar on the first, no, it was on the second in fact. This time we're looking at the Necron Immortals going up against the Tyranid Warriors. Before we do get into it, of course guys, I know you've heard me say this a few times, but for the new guys out there, new guys and girls in fact, we've got a giveaway ongoing. There's loads of prizes and it's completely free to get involved in. So there'll be a link in the description, it'll be plastered up there, it'll be plastered up there. Get involved, it's completely free. There's 9 prizes to come out. Combat Patrol box set is the main prize and you get to choose which one. So yeah, get involved, it's free. So, let's get back into this video. So we're looking at 5 Necron Immortals going up against 3 Tyranid Warriors. Now, I've not got the new points for the Necrons Codex at the moment of time, well at this moment in time of filming, but they were previously 70 points for 5, and Tyranid Warriors are 70 points for 3. Now of course, the points may change, so we'll have to wait and see, but at this moment in time I think it is a fair fight, so I'm going to go with that. So yeah, it's a Who Outshoots Who, so let's get into it. So we've got the 5 Necron Immortals. Wound of 5 inches, toughness 5, 3 plus armor, 1 wound apiece, 7 plus leadership, and objective control is 2. And they've got a couple of options for their range weapons, the Ghost Blasters or the Tesla Carbines. We'll go over those in a moment. With their ability to reroll wound rolls over 1, or reroll all wound rolls if the enemy unit is on an objective marker. That's what they've got. What about the Tyranid Warriors? The Tyranid Warriors have got, well, we're talking about the ranged bioweapons. I probably should have said that at the beginning. It's the ranged ones. Kind of obvious comparison. We're not really going melee against range, but it's the ranged bioweapons. These guys have got a movement of 6 inches, toughness 5, 4 plus armor save, 3 wounds apiece, leadership 7, and objective control is 2. So they're quicker, they're the same toughness, worse armor save, 3 wounds apiece, whereas a 5-man unit of Immortals is only 5 wounds. Leadership 7 is the same, and OC2 is the same as well. Now they've got a host of different range weapons, so we're going to have to get a bit tricksy with this. There's a lot to go through, and we'll go through that when the time comes for it. So to start off with the Immortals, let's go with the easy option to begin. Necron Immortals have got the 2 options. The first is the Ghost Blaster, which has lethal hits. So any critical hit roll will be a lethal hit, so it will automatically wound. So you don't have to roll to wound. Your opponent still gets the save and all that stuff, but you don't have to roll for the wound roll. Not really great for a unit that re-rolls wound rolls. 24 inch range, 2 attacks, Blitzkill 3 plus, strength 5 minus 1 AP at 1 damage. That's the Ghost Blaster, which you can actually see this gun in the actual picture here. The Tesla Carbine, which is my preferred option, has the assault keyword, so you could advance with it and still fire. Sustain hits 2, so every critical hit roll is actually 3 shots, not 1, or 3 hits, not 1. And the range is also the same, 24 inch range, it's actually gone up since the Codex. 2 attacks, Blitzkill 3 plus, strength 5, no AP, 1 damage. So you're sacrificing 1 point of AP to basically, or sacrificing 1 point of AP and lethal hits to instead have sustain hits 2 and the assault keyword. I think that's better because you can advance and do an action maybe, or you just get loads of hits of sustain hits. So in the bottom of this screen here you can see I've got the Tyranid Warriors stat line, so that's what it's going to be going up against. And I'm going to go through both the weapons here. So if you are using the Ghost Blasters, it's going to take approximately 3 turns to shift those 3 Tyranid Warriors. That's if a 5-man unit fires all those shots. That's going to be 10 shots, hitting on 3s, strength 5 minus 1 AP, 1 damage with lethal. Now if you're using the Tesla Carbines, it's actually going to take 4 turns. Because the AP isn't quite there, and the lethal hits of course is gone as well. Even though you will get more hits, but you still got to wound and all that stuff. So it's not as easy, but it will take 4 turns as an average. So that would actually imply that the Ghost Blaster is somewhat better here in this example. Now when you turn this around and go with the Tyranid Warriors, well there's a lot to chew through, isn't there? There's a lot to chew through. So you've got the standard options of the Death Spitters, the Devourers, or the Spine Fists, and then any number of models can have either of those. You can swap them out as you please, and for every 3 in a unit, 1 can have a Barbed Strangler, and then every 3 you can have 1 with the Venom Cannon. So effectively you could have a Venom Cannon, a Barbed Strangler, and then maybe a Death Spitter as an example. So the Death Spitters is the first one. 24 inch range, I've got the best range out of those 3 that are marked in blue there. 3 attacks, weapon skill 4+, strength 5 -1 AP, 1 damage. So it's got the best range, it's got the best strength, and the best AP. It's the best weapon, but it hasn't got the most amount of shots. The Devourer is only 18-inch range, but you get 5 shots with it. Same ballistic skill level 4+, only strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. And the Spine Fists have only got 12-inch and only 2 shots each. Hitting on 4s, strength 4, no AP, 1 damage, but they are twin linked. They're assault, so you can advance and do stuff. And they're also pistols, so you can actually fire them in engagement range. So let's show you what the results are if you were using just these weapons. So if you were using 3 Death Spitters, 3 models with Death Spitters alone, it will take 3 turns to shift those Immortals. The Devourers, it will take 4 turns, because you've got less strength, you're now wounded on 5s, and the AP isn't there. And if you're using the Spine Fists, even though they are twin linked, you're only getting 2 shots each, and they're only strength 4 again, no AP. So 6 turns, which is obviously impossible. So the Spine Fists are not really the go-to here. Now we are just talking range attacks, so of course if they did get into engagement range, it's slightly different. We're not talking about that today. So yeah, the Death Spitters, in my opinion, purely, if you are going with these basic weapons, would be the best options here. Now as we mentioned, you get to choose a Barbed Strangler and or a Venom Cannon for the other 2 models. So you could have a Barbed Strangler, the Death Spitter, and the Venom Cannon. Now the Barbed Strangler is a 36-inch range with Blast. Now Blast will do something because there is a 5-man unit here. D6 +1 attacks and Blast, so you get an extra attack on top of that. Ballistic skill 4+, strength 6, -1 AP, 1 damage. So strength 6 makes a difference because the Immortals are toughness 5, so it means you're wounding on 3s, which is nice. And the Venom Cannon also has Blast, so that's another one that's going to be affected. You get D3 shots, +1 for the Blast. Hit on 4s again, but these are strength 9, -2 AP, 2 damage. Now, I say strength 9 like it's a good thing against Immortals. It actually isn't. You're still just wounded on 3s at the end of the day. Against other things, it is better, but in this situation, it's wounded on the exact same as the Barbed Stranglers. But -2 AP, slightly better, puts them on a 5+ armor rather than a 4+. Damage 2 doesn't really do anything because Immortals are 1 wound. So all in all, let's look at the statistics here. Now, I've done this with and without Blast because maybe you chipped away 1 model, and then there's only 4, so therefore Blast wouldn't apply. If you're going with this exact loadout, Barbed Strangler, Death Spitter, and Venom Cannon, with Blast, you're looking at 1.97. Basically, 2 Immortals per turn will die. If you're doing it without Blast, it's like 1.57, so 1.6, 1.5, if you like. That's without Blast. So a slight improvement with Blast, and that's still going to make 3 turns. And of course, none of this includes reanimation. So if you remember, if we just had purely the Death Spitters alone, that also done it in 3 turns. So even though we've got better weapons here, it's not doing as much because, I mean, again, it's the amount of shots as well. That's a bit of a random average here. D6 +1 Blast. Yeah, you do get a few shots there. But all in all, it's not really doing it. Now, of course, you've got variables. The benefits of cover are going to come into play here because of the AP of the weapons. Benefits of cover will definitely have an impact on these maths. You've got detachment rolls as well. I would look at in terms of the invasion fleet, you've got the Swarming Instincts to get sustained hits 1 against infantry. That would definitely change things there. The Assimilation Swarm to be able to heal your Tyranid Warriors with a Harvester unit nearby. Do you generate wounds? We have to mention the Synaptic Nexus for the Tyranid Warriors. They'll be able to reroll hit rolls of a 1 and wound rolls of a 1 for 1 CP with Irresistible Will. They've got Synapse, so they're going to get that naturally. They don't need to be within Synapse range of anything else because they already are. So that's cool. The Reinforced Hive Node is another stratagem they've got to add 1 to the AP. And don't forget as well, you can take a Tyranid Prime. Tyranid Prime has the Alpha Warrior ability to give sustained hits 1. Now that of course won't match with the Invasion Hive Fleet with the sustained hits. So don't put those together because that will kind of not stack. They've already got sustained hits. But that would definitely have an impact if you've added that to the Tyranid Warriors. And from the Immortals point of view, you've got Reanimation Protocol, so every single turn they're going to get D3 back, which kind of kills off what the Tyranid Warriors are doing. Very similar, in fact, with what we did with the Doomstalker and the Exocrine. They were both kind of on par until Reanimation got involved, and then they went off par. And it kind of feels that way now. Because if you're doing, say, 2 damage per turn, or 2 models die per turn, and then they've got a D3 to bring them back, they're coming back. Now, of course, you can use other units to finish off the Immortals, don't get me wrong, but this is purely a 5 Immortals versus 3 Tyranid Warriors battle. They can have a Reanimator within 3 inches to have an additional D3. That would definitely completely make any attacks you do redundant. Further things they've got from the new Codex, you've got the Awakened Dynasty for a +1 to hit with any leader involved. You've got the Netherrealm Casket enhancement with a character for stealth. So It's a -1 to hit them. Command Protocol of Conquering Tyrant to reroll 1s within half range or full rerolls if they are being led, which they likely will be. Sunstorm to gain assault weapons, and that won't really apply on the Tesla because you've already got it, but the Gorse weapons. The Canoptic Court, which is quite a powerful one, for rerolls of 1 all game, or full rerolls if they're within the power matrix, which is a rule for the Canoptic Court. There's a stratagem in there for devastating wounds, and there's another one for ignoring cover as well. And I wanted to give a shout out to another detachment, which is the Obeisance Phalanx, which is a +1 to wound versus a selected target. Now they need an overlord within the unit to do this, but if they were to select the Tyranid Warriors with this particular ability, then they're going to get a +1 to wound, and they're already rerolling 1s to wound, potentially rerolling all wounds. Yeah, that could be quite nasty. Eternal Conquer for the Bearers unit to get full hit rolls, rerolls against enemy units within range of an objective, and Enslaved Artifice for critical hits on a 5+. Going back and forth again, we've got some more characters. I mean, overall, the Immortals have got a lot of synergy. Orican the Diviner with the Invuln save, a Chronomancer to not only basically give them stealth, but give them a move where they can move after shooting. Royal Warden to fall back and shoot. You've got the Technomancer to give them a Feel No Pain save of a 5+. The Plasmancer for critical hit rolls of a 5+. And the Overlord we've already mentioned, but he'll have a one use only Resurrection Orb maybe, and opens up a lot of things with the Obeisance Phalanx. But yeah, the main one out of the picks there, I think the Plasmancer is the one. That's the go-to for Immortals, having critical hits on a 5+. I think that's amazing with sustained hits 2, or lethal hits. But yeah, let's sort of summarise this video. 5 Immortals, 3 Tyranid Warriors with the bio range weapons. I think it was close. I mean, the Tyranids were doing it within 3 turns, just like the Immortals were. But yet again, Reanimation Protocols does save the day for the Necrons. And it literally makes the Tyranids' attacks virtually redundant. It's pointless. If they kill 2, they come back. So yeah, for this video, again, because of Reanimation Protocols, I'm going to give this one to the Necron Immortals. So guys, that has been the 4th of December. Tomorrow, the 5th of December, I don't know what we're doing yet. I'll have to look into my list. But yeah, I'll see you then.